So my name is Thunberg. I'm heading up the Imperto business unit in Irdeto. We're completely focused on construction, and our goal is to make job sites more efficient, safe and productive. The way most job site works today, or used to work in the past, is that you have like one general contractor and then you have a whole bunch of subcontractors. In most cases, the actual rental equipment would be an afterthought, and then it would be up to basically every subcontractor to rent their own equipment. As a consequence, you have a lot of equipment on the job site that is not necessarily utilized. So some subcontractors maybe be 1-2 days per week on a job site, but they will still rent equipment that will sit there for the duration of the project. So the core concept is by actually creating a rental branch or a pool of equipment at the actual job site, where every single sub-trade rent from that pool to avoid transportation, and also, you can have many companies use the same machine in a single day. So I think that for the people on the ground, it's obviously really convenient that you actually have instant access to things when you need it. Because before, even if you had rented equipment, there was many cases where you needed a different piece of equipment, you needed to get higher or whatever. You would then have to call the rental company. I mean, today we have a lot of regulation about transporting heavy stuff. In many cities in Europe today, you can only do that at night, for example. So it's not that you could just call up and then 2 hours later you will have your machine. But in this case, you have everything on site, everything's been worked out with the contractor in terms of what you need, when you need it. So the pool is always balanced, and we use data to make sure that the utilization rates are at a level where everybody can access the equipment when they need it. So for them, they don't really have to think about equipment. We just set you up in the system, you download the app, and off you go. Before we integrated with Trackunit is that it's been basically a standalone solution. The data that's been generated on the job site and used for decision making basically is an export from Excel, and then somebody will have to trawl through this data. With the Trackunit RSX integration, we obviously can make that data flow into other workflows, data models and other things. So now you can basically enrich the data that you were getting from your Trackunit devices, and you can pair that up with our data, because we get data from the mobile phone usage and you get data from the machine. Now we can see during a booking, like your run hours, how many times were the machine locked, unlocked, by what person, how many people use this machine during a booking, etc., etc. So we can get a lot more precise data by pairing up the person or the company using the equipment, and then basically better decision making, make the fleet balancing much more precise, make better forecasts. At the end of the day, it's really the end customer that get the real benefits from this partnership. You guys have a lot of experience. You've been in this business for a very long time. And I think by working together, we can actually get new insights, we can learn new things, and by looking at where we're coming from with equipment sharing and all the experience you have, I think we can move the needle. I think we can drive sustainability, I think we can drive more efficiency, I think we can drive more productivity, and I'm sure we will also identify new applications that need to be brought into this ecosystem, that we can create even more 1 + 1 = 3 effects. And we measure every project to ensure that we understand exactly what you get out of this technology and how it helps you. So on average, on equipment sharing, I would say we cut transportation somewhere between 50 and 65%. We see a utilization above 70% on the equipment that's also on the site. In many cases, we actually see 100% or even higher. Our record is 125%, because you have basically many people renting the same machine in multiple times in one day. And in addition to those measures, you can obviously calculate your CO2 emissions and how much in reduction you have, because you have less equipment on the job site. So that's another thing that impacts the CO2 emissions. So I can't give a kind of percentage saving, but in general, there's significant savings in both areas. Equipment pools and stuff has been around for a long time, but now all of a sudden this whole process can be fully automated. You don't necessarily need middlemen to be involved in any shape or form to get access to the equipment. But access control is actually the underlying factor for business model innovation. So now you could start to charge your customers for usage per hour, minutes, whatever. If the data is available on the machine, we can turn this into output-based models where you actually pay for how much earth you move in a day, or how many tons you lift, or whatever. There could be all these factors can all be underpinned by access control because you tie it to a user during a specific period of time, and then you can see what was actually achieved in this period of time, and that's what determines how much you pay. I think our customers will help us to determine the priority list, but I can see by just combining machine data with booking data and data related to the person that's using the equipment, we can definitely draw a lot more intelligent conclusions. But now there are many data points that actually make sense for the job site guy who's renting the machine to see in the app. Like, I shouldn't rent this machine because the fuel level is only 20%. So there's all these small things that cause disruption that we can get rid of in a very short period of time if we work together on this. But in the long term, I would say the sky's the limit.